All right, well, breaking news into our newsroom. Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel has entered a treatment facility. This is according to an advisor, and they told this to ESPN.com. Brad Beckworth says, quote, Johnny knows there are areas in which he needs to improve in order to be a better family member, friend, and teammate, and he thought the offseason was the right time to take this step. On behalf of Johnny and his family, we're asking for privacy until he rejoins the team in Cleveland. Again, Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel has entered a treatment facility, and that is according to his advisor. Stephen A. Smith, let's talk about this. Your reaction to this news?
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly sad for him. I applaud him for acknowledging that he needs help and making an effort to go and seek the help that he needs, clearly. Skip Bayless has alluded to this on many, many occasions about his concerns for Johnny Manziel. And Skip is not going to say it. I'll say it for him. Skip took a lot of heat because he kept pointing out how he's hearing that this guy has a problem. And everybody's been saying for months, who the hell are you? How the hell you know? I wonder where those folks are now, because that's exactly what ended up being the case. Just as an aside there. Having said all of that, again, I know Johnny Manziel. I like him a lot. I'm very fond of him. I wish him well. And I certainly don't want to engage in condemnation. But at the same time, if I'm going to sit there and call out Josh Gordon, I can't absolve Johnny Manziel. Because what we have to recognize in all of this, like, you may have a problem, Skip, Kerry, I get that. But I keep using this one line to folks that I want people to understand. You can't get addicted to something you never tried. And there is so much information that is out there that highlights and illuminates the harm that can come to you if you elect to engage in this kind of stuff. That maybe, just maybe, if you just never tried it, you wouldn't have anything to worry about. So on one hand, I find myself feeling incredibly sad and sorry for him that he's going through this, while also being thankful that he's wise enough to seek the help and the counsel that he needs. But on the other hand, I feel that it's an opportunity to highlight yet again for so many youngsters out there with an abundance of dreams that when it comes to whether it be drugs or alcohol or anything, in Johnny Manziel's case, it appears to be alcohol, we don't know. The bottom line is that you can't get addicted to something you never tried. And the information is out there highlighting and illuminating the harm that could potentially come to you and others if you do this kind of stuff. So let's hope that it serves as a deterrent for so many folks out there, so they'll be wise enough to refrain from things Johnny Manziel refused to. Because unlike Johnny Manziel, as Josh Gordon and others may have highlighted, Johnny Manziel comes from money. This is a problem for him. He has to overcome it. But at the same time, he's got a structure, a foundation there that he could ultimately get beyond this and still live a very fruitful and affluent life. Most others don't have that luxury. And I just hope that people recognize that as we sit here today and pray for the best for Johnny Manziel moving forward.
I appreciate everything you just said. I did take a lot of criticism for saying repeatedly that I believe that Johnny has a problem. But my sources in Johnny's camp are strong. And I can tell you for a fact, his parents have been distraught over this. And I'm sure they're very relieved that he finally hit bottom enough at the end of the year to say, I give up, I'm going to rehab. Stephen A., I want to say publicly, and I hope somehow Johnny is watching this, I am so proud of you, Johnny Manziel, for having the guts to do this. It's not easy. And yet, I'm with you, Stephen A. Johnny knows how I feel about him. I love this kid, and he's still a kid to me, just turned 22 years of age. I love him off the field, and I still love him on the field. I still think he can be great in the National Football League, but he can't be great when he's fighting an off-the-field problem that is going to, as he said, he wants to wreck the league in that text to Dow Loggins. This is going to wreck him off the field if he doesn't beat it first. And big picture, Stephen A., I think it's great that he's taking this offseason to address it, because next season for Johnny football is crucial. He was having a harder and harder time living up to the huge aura that is Johnny football. And as you know, he started running with the wrong crowd, running with too many people who had already proven themselves to be stars. And Johnny just couldn't live in that fast lane quite yet, because he still had so much to prove in the National Football League. So I'm hoping this is the beginning for Johnny Manziel. I'm hoping he can get himself clean and sober, come back to camp committed to being dedicated enough to learn how to play in the National Football League. He has the talent. He has the God-given ability. He can do it, but he has to be clear of head and clear of soul. And I just hope, if God is good, he will get himself straight for the start of training camp.
So do I. So do I. And we got to hope and pray, Skip, that, you know, it's one thing as opposed to a multitude of things. We're not going to speculate but so much, because we simply don't know. But you and I both know what we've heard. And the fact of the matter is, we got to hope and pray that it's not a lot of stuff, if you understand what I'm saying. And that's what I'm hopeful for when it comes to him. I don't know what's going on, and I'm not going to lie to you. I almost don't want to know based on the stuff that I've been hearing. So our prayers have to go out to him, but it's pretty serious. And it's not as simple as just drinking a few beers on a Friday night before a game on Sunday. And we'll just leave it at that.
Although, if you can't handle your alcohol, Stephen A., that can kill you too. Remember that.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah,
again,
I'm just saying that.
We don't know
I'm just
yet.
saying it's more complicated.
That's good, and we'll leave it right there, guys. Johnny.